out of our personal lives, out of our bedrooms, out of running the economy, and certainly out of the business of running the world. Very simply, that is a good way to solve our economic problems, our financial problems, and our dollar problems. People say, well, how can you do that? What would you have to do to get things turned around? Well, we could start by bringing our troops home. And that would mean that we are refusing to spread the war. There's no reason for us to go to war against Iran, and there are many in Washington right now who are planning that. No war against Iran. When we bring our troops home from the Middle East, that's not all. It's time, since we can't afford it, and it doesn't give us any national security, it's time, you know, to come home from Korea. They've been in Korea since I was in high school. It's time to bring them home. And that means let's end World War II. Let's come home from Europe and Japan. That war's over. Let's come home and save not a few million, not a few billion, not just a small amount, hundreds of billions of dollars we could save. We're spending $1 trillion a year maintaining our empire. And we do know that empires don't come to an end because of military conflict. The Soviet system came crashing down, and we didn't have to fight the Soviets. They came crashing down because they couldn't afford it. Economic reasons bring empires down. And right now, that is what we're facing. We cannot afford this any longer. And you, in particularly, cannot. Because you're inheriting this mess, financially and also the obligation of serving and fighting these wars. So I would say that one generation never has the right to pass on a war to the next generation. It should be your say, not previous generations. That does not mean that we should automatically go to war. We shouldn't be going to war on treaties. We shouldn't be going to war on UN resolutions. And we shouldn't be going to war on the hearsay of an individual in the executive branch. War should only be fought when it's absolutely necessary, when the American people speak through their members of Congress and there's an actual declaration of war and no other time. It is under those circumstances that the people come together, realizing that we're under threat, and we fight, and we win, and we get it over with, and no prolonged political wars that we have been experiencing. You know, I've taken this very strong position on foreign policy. It's not my position. It's the American foreign policy. It's the policy of the Founding Fathers. It used to be the policy of a lot of Republicans, but they have short memories. I think they were supposed to have long memories, but not. But the one thing I've been very proud of in this campaign is in the last quarter last year, when there were quite a few more in the campaign. And if you notice, there were 11 Republicans at one time. We're down to 2, so we're doing pretty well. There was a report, a financial report that came out at the end of last year, and they added up the donations from active military personnel. And they added all of them up, all the Democrats and all the Republicans. And guess what? Our campaign got more money than all the rest put together from active military. And they would like us to believe, which we do not, they want us to believe that if you support this position of non-intervention and not going to war carelessly, that you're un-American and you don't support the troops and you're not patriotic. I would say that we are the true patriots in this country, and we don't go to war unnecessarily.